I think my tongue had a seizure there while I was saying your name. You know, I know how to say your name, right?
It didn't sound like it to me, Kinsey. It sounds fine.
Well, you know, I'm still trying to recover from that Meghan Markle video that I was trying to not make you guys react to. I was like, we're going to do something else. We're going to do something different.
All right, let's just get right into it. That Meghan Markle video, yeah, the one that literally broke the internet. I don't even know where to start because, honestly, it left a lot of people in shock. I mean, I get it. When you first see it, your brain literally asks, is this AI? Has Meghan been hacked? What's going on? I'm not kidding. Even Kinsey admitted she thought it was some kind of AI parody. Cameron mentioned that his mom even texted him saying, surely this isn't true. Must be AI.
But the reaction has been so wild. Cameron, I'm going to ask you first. I I hesitated to share the video because I thought it was a AI parody. Meghan had been hacked. Like, I could not believe that it was real. I could not believe that it was real. And after a while of it staying up, I realized that it was real. Did you have the same hesitation when you saw that video? Like, oh, I better not respond too soon because there's something off about this.
Do you know, it's really funny that you thought it was AI, Kinsey, because my mum, of all people, texted me and said, surely this isn't true. This must be AI. And I hadn't seen the video by the time she had watched it. So I went on Megan's Instagram, watched the video, and I couldn't quite believe it in one sense, because as you say, it is so unlike a Duchess to do something like that within the hospital room. But also, on the other hand, it's like, gosh, something in Prince Harry's memoir Spare is true, because he actually mentions the fact that he did this baby mama dance within his memoir Spare 2 years ago. But of course, we're seeing it now in record on Meghan's Instagram. What I would love to know the answer to is whether Prince Harry authorized Meghan to post that video into the public domain. Because although he's no longer a working member of the royal family, he is still fifth in line to the throne. And if there's any hope of him wanting maybe one day to do more royal gigs, reconcile with his brother, reconcile with his father, it's these kind of instances which he's going to really struggle to come back from, because those kind of videos are going to stick in the public mind.
They really truly are. Duncan, is this how you would celebrate your 4-year-old's birthday, with a video of she's honoring Lily allegedly, but it's a video of her in the hospital. Lily has yet to arrive. That felt a little suspicious to me, that she's like, happy birthday, Lily. Also, here's me.
Yeah, that's isn't that classic, Meghan? Yeah, yeah. I want to celebrate something, and let's make it about me. I've been watching some of the responses to this video, and one theme arrives. It seems as it's tacky, it's cheap, it's absolutely ridiculous. A couple that value their privacy release something like that. I watched it and I thought, what on earth are you doing? This is just madness. And I think that seems to be how it's certainly over here, how it's been received. It's just, this couple can only make my jaw hit the floor so many times. And yet again, they've done it. I can't believe they've released a video like that. They look ridiculous.
Cameron, unfortunate timing when stories are also circulating about the cost of Prince Harry challenging the government for security. He's saying, I feel like my family's in jeopardy. That people do translate the security talk into privacy talk. And I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if I don't have an opinion on whether or not it's fair. I think I probably am one of the people that say, if you're so worried about security, maybe you should be tighter with your privacy. It is kind of unfortunate to drop this video around the same time that we're finding out how expensive that fight was. And, Harry, put your money where your mouth is, or actions speak louder than words. If you are worried about security, shouldn't you guys just tighten up in general and maybe stop oversharing?
Well, yeah, it's reportedly costing £100,000 a security bill to the British taxpayer. The Home Office obviously paying their lawyers to fight the case, which Harry has lost at the moment. He lost his court case in the Court of Appeal. Look, I mean, Meghan on her Instagram before the video was posted did post very tasteful, nice images of
Lily's
her and
forehead.
Princess Elizabeth.
Lily's forehead. Her forehead.
Lily's forehead, her forehead, and then you had a baby Princess Lilibet with Prince Harry as well on a second grid post. And then we got the video. And I think when Harry and Meghan stood back as working members of the royal family and they said, we want privacy, obviously widely mocked around the world. I'm thinking South Park.
That's a level of disbelief we're talking about here. Once you watch it, though, you kind of realize, yep, it's real. And that's when the jaw-dropping kicks in. It's so unlike a duchess to do something so bold, outrageous, public, whatever you want to call it, especially in what's supposed to be such an intimate space, the hospital room where Princess Lilibet was born. And the wild thing is, it actually lines up with what Prince Harry mentions in Spare. He wrote about this baby mama dance years ago, so technically, there's a precedent.
I'm thinking, several other TV shows, American TV shows, mocking that. I think what they actually wanted was control of the narrative and control of the media. And Meghan has her newly launched Instagram account now. She can post whatever the hell she likes, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. There's nothing the palace can do about it either. But as you point out, Kinsey, there is this contradiction really in the public's eyes as to you putting out a lot of your private, intimate moments on the internet. She's literally posting a video in the room, we're led to believe, of where she gave birth to Princess Lilibet. You don't see the Princess of Wales posting videos of her birthing suite in the Lindo wing, for example. So there is that contrast that we're seeing here. And I think it's the culture thing. Again, it's the Hollywood celebrity angle of Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, and of course, the royal family even, and how that clashes.
That's a great point. Duncan, kind of related to Cameron's point, you named your daughter Lilibet, Princess Lilibet, after the Queen. And you use the word tacky when describing this labor video. I would feel like I'd tiptoe in the way that I did anything in relation to the Queen. She's talking about her daughter who shares her name with the Queen. I do think that I would be especially careful to make sure that everything I did in relation to this child that shares this, very sacred name, I would want to make sure I honored the Queen in everything I did with Lily.
Well, I think Cameron's right when he says, ultimately you wonder what on earth Harry and Meghan will stop at. They're showing private, incredibly private moments as a couple when they're a couple that have campaigned and complained about the lack of privacy that they have. It's I think the palace will be looking at it just thinking, what on earth planet are they living on right now? And I'm sorry, I know it sounds unfair, but they're not the Kardashians, for goodness sake. They're supposed to be members of the royal family, or they'll certainly trade off that when they can. And this just reduces them, frankly, I think, to a laughing stock.
Duncan, I meant to ask you after Cameron's comments about Prince Harry, and did Meghan have Prince Harry's permission to share this? I think it was you that said that, Cameron.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah. You spent a lot of time with Prince Harry. You spent a lot of time with Prince Harry talking about the difficult circumstances he was in. Duncan, sure. What is your reaction when you hear Cameron ask that question? Do you think, no way?
Well, I think I say what I always say, really, in terms of Prince Harry. He wanted to escape this sort of public scrutiny and what he has always described as the baggage of being born into the royal family. He doesn't need to be famous. He doesn't want to be famous. He doesn't need to be rich. He was rich. He was born rich. You have to think this just purely suits the "let's look at me, I'm Meghan Markle" narrative. I don't see what on earth else Harry has to gain by releasing a video like this, which basically makes him Well, I'll be as polite as I can, but it makes them look like a couple of fools.
I thought you were going to say an epic dancer. I was waiting for that compliment, but I should have known better from
Yeah.
you, Duncan. Cameron, I want to talk to you about this cover of People magazine. The headline is Prince Harry and King Charles rift won't heal. The issue is trust. And I don't know. I feel like this is a no-brainer to people that cover this regularly. The idea that there is just
But now, seeing it out in the wild on Meghan's Instagram, totally different vibe. Ultimately, what we're watching is a constant tension between identity, control, and consequence. Harry and Meghan want agency over their narrative, but the tools they use, social media, interviews, viral videos, also expose them to judgment and criticism. They are navigating public life on their terms, but each step carries weight: trust, image, family relations, and public perception.
so much pain that still exists within the royal family on both sides, Prince Harry and the King. Valentine Lowe, which I thought was interesting in the piece, said that he did not feel like Prince Harry's BBC interview was an attack on the royals, but he said that the royals certainly would feel that it was. What is your reaction to that? And as a royal reporter, how did you respond to the BBC interview? Did you take to heart Prince Harry saying, I'd love to reconcile with my family? And at the same time, did you think, well, this is probably not the way to do it? Or did you feel like there was an aggression there and a resentment there that almost made the I'd like to reconcile with my family comment off at the very end of the interview irrelevant?
I think when it comes to Valentine Lowe's comments suggesting that he probably didn't do it to attack the royal family, I think that's probably correct. But I think Prince Harry's issue, if you can call it that, time and time again, is he speaks before he thinks.
Yeah.
He lashes out, he throws his toys out the pram or whatever, and then he deals with the consequences after the fact. So I think in Prince Harry's mind, when he was doing the interview, obviously I don't know what was in his mind completely, but I can probably hazard a guess as to the kind of mindset he was in. He just lost the case, which I suspect from speaking to those in the know, he thought was a distinct possibility before he lost his appeal over his security. Then he does this BBC interview trying to put his points across, and he feels like the only way he could get his points across was by doing this big media interview. Again, regurgitating a line that he feels he cannot keep his family safe when he brings them to the UK, that the state, the establishment, is out to get him, out to punish him for leaving as a working member of the royal family. Again, citing the King's principal private secretary, Sir Clive Alderton, that he's on the Rabbit Committee, which made the decision to downgrade his security, and alleging or suggesting that there's some kind of bias within that committee. So he wanted to get all of that across on national television. The problem is, as all of that's going on, there's also fallout from that. So the fact that he said, I don't know how much longer my father has, he was probably just speaking off the cuff there. But of course, all of us know that the King is still undergoing a weekly cycle of cancer treatment. And reading between the lines, that suggests to us and everybody watching that he doesn't know how much longer his father has left to live.
Right.
And then it again raises the question of the King's health, the King's cancer, something which he and his team, they've given as much information as they want to give us, and they want the rest to remain private. And the fact his youngest son is adding oxygen to the fire and making the speculation bigger is not going to help with the trust between the King and Prince Harry. And I think there was a suggestion, a few months ago, that Harry was just focusing on philanthropy, and maybe that is a way to start to get some olive branches going to reconcile with the King. Since that BBC interview happened, and to answer your second point, Kinsey, what was I thinking during the interview? It was shock, because I remember literally running into the studio every 5 minutes because Harry had dropped another bombshell and was having to analyze it live on air, being like, I'm sorry, I literally have never seen anything like this, because I hadn't. But also it's cut out any olive branches, I think, and it's going to be very difficult for Prince Harry to reconcile with the King or his brother, because there isn't any trust there. How can the King or William speak to Harry privately and not worry about what is said ending up in the public domain one day?
Very, very good point. And Duncan, Prince Harry, this piece talks about how there's really not a lot of support around King Charles when it comes to a reconciliation. They say that Prince William has shown no interest in extending an olive branch, and even Queen Camilla, who Prince Harry kind of tore into in Spare, stays out of it. I mean, I feel like King Charles doesn't need cheerleaders around him. He seems like the type of person that if he wants something, he will pursue it with or without support. Um, but to Cameron's point, maybe he really is just so protective of what's going on in his with his health right now that it's for his own, sanity and his own health that he tries to avoid all drama. Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I think Cameron again is right. I mean, you can't. How can King Charles or Prince William, for that matter, reach out to Harry when there's every chance what they say will be broadcast by Harry, and once the trust is gone, it's gone. How do you re-earn it? Oh well, tell me something, Daddy or Papa, whatever he calls him, and give it 6 months, and I'll show you that I don't break your privacy and don't break. It's gone. The royals work on the basis that if you break that circle of trust once.
The fallout from one video or interview isn't isolated. It ripples across the media, the royal family, and the fan base alike. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and at times infuriating, but also captivating. Watching this play out is like watching a high-stakes social experiment where fame, family, and tradition collide. The lesson? Control comes with cost. Exposure comes with consequences. And in the royal world, where trust is everything, one misstep can define public perception for years. So, yeah, that Meghan video, more than just a viral clip. It's emblematic of a pattern of impulse, spectacle, and the struggle between personal freedom and the constraints of legacy. And as much as we want to shake our heads, we can't look away. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think or what you want to see next.